Hello, heroes, and welcome to Kvell. I'm Jamar, the spiritual director here at Kvell, and today we're going to talk about the law of abundance, claiming your piece of the pie. Now let's just stop right there. There's no pie. Claiming a piece of the pie suggests that there's only a certain number to go around. You got a piece or you didn't get a piece. You got a little piece or you got a big piece. But that's not how abundance works. And we live in an abundant universe. There's examples of abundance everywhere. If you go out on a cloudless night and look up, the stars can't be counted. A day at the beach will show two examples, waves constantly flowing in and the grains of sand. So there is a lot of abundance in our universe. We come from an abundant universe. Most of our relationship with abundance comes from conditioning, what we believe to be true, and issues of worthiness. So today we want to explore, how can I open up to that stream that's always flowing? And how can I have abundance? So often when we talk about abundance, we think of finances, prosperity, money, wealth. But abundance applies to so many other areas. Now you may know people in your life who have a certain level of mastery in one area of abundance. They're rich in love, or they're rich in health, or joy, or fun, or relationships, or money, or any number of the above. But they suffer in one other area, or they experience some, what we'll call, scarcity in one other area. Now, in the areas that they have abundance, we want to learn from those people. And in the areas that they don't, we want to go ahead and venture out on our own. So how do we create abundance? There are some basic archetypes. Now, an archetype is just an example of, it's a teaching model, you might call it. And in the lower chakras, we have 3 below from the navel kind of south, they deal with our physical reality. And the negative archetypes, the unhealthy archetypes of those lower chakras, are what we would call the victim and the martyr and the drudge. The drudge is a Cinderella story. It's the servant mentality. Poor Cinderella didn't get to go to the ball, and all she had to do was stay home and clean, and her stepsisters got to go. So as we move into a state of health, the opposite, or the expression of health and abundance in each of those areas, is the Earth Mother, and the Sovereign, and the Spiritual Warrior. Now, I know you're learning every day about the potential of your spiritual warrior. Potential to expand and come into the fullest expression of self. So let's see what that would look like in the area of abundance. First, we need to identify what's our thinking. What is my thinking? Is it an abundant thinking, or is it coming from a place of scarcity? If there are not enough pieces, then you know that's a scarcity kind of thing. If you expect good thing, that's an abundant kind of thinking. Intentions plus expectations create results. And your results are your greatest teacher. Your results are your guru. That's how you learn. Some of us will use perfectionism and or control in an attempt to manage the unfolding of our life. Both of those are broken coping tools. Perfection is hard to achieve, and it's a bit of a setup. That's not to say that you can't bring a level of excellence to everything that you do. That's attainable. That's something that you can be in charge of. Often we are so identified with our results, especially here in the West, that we become our results instead of having results. As it relates to your experience and your exploration in the area of abundance, I would invite you to have your results and not be them. Let them be the teacher. Intend to create something. Put energy into that, in the thought, in the visualization, in how you relate to it. The more you bring your awareness to a thing, the more you bring your energy to an idea, the more the energy gathers around that. The universe doesn't really have a filter that says, you don't really deserve that. It allows into your consciousness and into that larger one mind or thought stream, whatever you can imagine for yourself. Now you have to be responsible for taking some action to create that. So let your actions be in keeping with your new thoughts. You can always tell what you're committed to by the actions that you take, not so much what comes out of your mouth. So intend to have new levels of abundance. And when you find yourself shortchanging yourself in thought, in what's possible in relationships and jobs and career, in the area of health, fun, or time. I know people who deal with scarcity of time. There's just not enough time in the day. They couldn't possibly get everything done. And I know others who almost freeze time and fit in everything beautifully, like pieces of a puzzle that fall together, because they have an abundant relationship with the unfolding of time. A lot of these lessons are passed down from our family of origin. They're not even ours, and they probably weren't even our parents. They're passed down through grandparents and great aunts and so on, all the way back to when that family tree was first planted. So you can look at what's the family tree growing? What level of abundance has it experienced? Not how is the tree itself growing, but what are the people on that family tree creating? And not how can you be more like them, but what was the thinking that allowed that? Generally, people will expand to the level of health and finance and wealth in the area of connection or fun and relationships and in love and in nurturing, in support. Are you allowed to have support in your life? Often when I ask clients about what support looks like to them, they're not even sure. They didn't even know they could ask. They didn't know that was a possibility. So these are questions that you want to ask yourself. What would abundance in this area look like? What other areas can I expand my abundance into? What would it feel like if I was abundant? I'm going to invite you to act as if. And I'm not suggesting that you spend your entire savings. That's not what I'm saying. But come from a mentality that supports a level of wealth, emotional wealth, a wealth of health, of time, of connection, of joy, of liberation, of freedom, of creativity. Can you be spiritually abundant? I am abundant in a lot of areas. And one of those is in intuition and my connection with source and spirit. I'm abundant in that. I feel very fortunate to have that in my life. I can say it out loud because for me it's true. And if it's true, then I can say it out loud. One supports the other. It's not subject to results at this point. It just is. That's where we want to take our abundance to. That's already coming to you. That everything is already lining up as soon as you can allow it. That issues of self-worth become resolved because you are perfect and whole from this moment, from the day you took your very first breath. And these are not things that you gather because now you're worthy of them. They're not expressions of your worth as much as they add to the potential expression of the unique flavor that you are, unique gift that you are to this planet. So in the area of abundance, I would invite you to take a part or a piece and practice. For the next 30 days, give energy to a specific outcome and see what starts to happen around it. And see how you become the author, how you get to write the last chapter of that story, even as you begin to imagine it. And so with that, I invite you to heal, to feel, and to be proud. A hero is courage, and a hero is you.